What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Spade, and we back with another one. Today, we're going to talk about culture, counterculture, and anti-culture, the balance between the three, and what that means for hip hop. I'm gonna start with this. Can you be so hip hop, so for your culture, right? So, like, look at a rapper for example. The way they rap, what they rap about, how they structure their music videos. Can you be so hip hop and so for your culture that you actually stop being for your culture? You see what I'm saying? So, like, let's go to the culture, counterculture, anti-culture. All right, so you got culture. That is the production, right, of culture, right? So that's you doing what you do to add into the growth of your culture, particularly hip hop in this instance, but can be used anywhere, like for any type of culture. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up with new slang terms, coming up with new types of fashion, coming up with new sounds and new ways to express via hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Even if you go back to using old styles, but doing it in your own new organic way, thus creating something fresh. You see what I'm saying? That's how things work. I'm not one of those people that's like, we're just regurgitating the same stories over and over. Yeah, that might be true to an extent, but that's not absolute. That's kind of foolish, honestly, to look at that as like the absolute truth. Like, we're not all literally, every romance isn't Romeo and Juliet. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's kind of true, but that's kind of like a pessimistic, real in a box way of looking at things, especially something as infinite as art. How could we be limited in creativity when creativity is infinite, life is infinite, and the things we experience is infinite? Nothing is finite. Only flesh is finite. Only men. Anyways, I digress. So that's culture. Culture is what you add to it as an artist, right? What you're adding to the culture as an artist, as an individual, not even just as an artist, because even fans and the people who participate in, the consumption of this stuff contribute to the culture. That's why it's important for people to realize that you're just as big a part of the culture as the artist, as the rappers, singers, as the graffiti artists, as the drawers, animators, as the voice actors, movie directors, script writer. You know what I'm saying? All of that, because it's all influenced by each other. Like hip hop artists are heavily influenced by what other genres outside of hip hop, and then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We're heavily influenced by cartoons and TV shows and movies and influencers, right? Before the word influencers, what were they called? Public figures. So we're influenced by public figures and beliefs and all these other, you know what I'm saying? So the influence pool is infinite. That's another reason why I don't think we are just regurgitating the same stuff over and over again. That's, again, very nearsighted, very close minded. Because the pool of inspiration is infinite. I could pull inspiration from 1,000 different things and create something you never even thought of. But it's you, the individual, with the ability to create. How are you using it? That is how we, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in you, not on you. That brings me to remember what I just said too. It's in you, not on you. So that's culture. Culture is all that, the influence and how you go about it and what you're adding to it, and gatekeeping. That's a big important part of culture, because not everything is for everybody. um yeah, y'all get the idea of culture. We're out here living it every day. You're seeing it every day. I mean, gosh darn, look at what Kendrick did for the West Coast, man. That's culture. He put his culture out there, specifically in hip hop, specifically from the West Coast, specifically Compton. You see what I'm saying? Um, then we got anti-culture. So anti-culture is the antithesis of culture. So that's all the naysayers, that's all the haters, all the people that's like, okay, let's use hip hop since we're already talking about it, right? That's like all the people that are like, oh, rap isn't real music. Oh, it's misogynistic. Oh, it's this. It's violent. Oh, and the kids are, all this nonsense. Again, back to the closed mindedness, back to the lack of understanding of the culture, back to the not even being willing to be open to understand the culture, no research on the culture, taking bits and pieces from the culture to paint your own narrative on it. That's anti culture. We don't gotta spend too much time on that because anti-culture doesn't really do too much other than be anti-culture. And yeah, what else does it really do? I mean, it serves a purpose, don't get me wrong. And we're gonna get to that in this next one. What purpose does it serve? I'll get to that. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting throat chakra blockages. So there's counterculture. So what's counterculture? If culture is left and anti-culture is right, counterculture is that line, right where they meet. It's that thin line between the two. That's counterculture. Why is that counterculture? Counterculture isn't it's what's the word? What's the word? Amoral. It's amoral, right? It's amoralistic. It's neutral. It doesn't fully agree with anti-culture, and it doesn't fully agree with culture. Because, like I said, you can be so much for the culture that it stops being for the culture. That's where counterculture comes in. Because counterculture will come in and use anti-culture as a way to destroy what culture has built in order for it to grow. So it's in a good way. Okay? I'm going to use grunge, for example. Grunge was created through what the newer generation was seeing from the older generation of rock, that really pristine, really like, again, nothing wrong with it, but it was too clean for them, in their opinion. It was like, this is too clean, this is too high horse-ish, too high and mighty, too preachy. Okay, we need to bring it back down on something more gritty or something more, I guess you would say, realistic. You know what I'm saying? Something less preachy. Thus came grunge. Grunge was counterculture. It was anti-culture with a purpose. They took anti-culture, which, anti-culture is purposeless. It's just chaotic nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But they took that chaotic nonsense of anti-culture, and then used it to further culture, thus creating counterculture. And we love when counterculture happens. Punk is counterculture, hip hop is counterculture, jazz is counterculture. You see what I'm saying? All these things were at one point seen as what? Rock is counterculture as heck. You know what I'm saying? All these things at one point was seen by the public in the anti-culture world as what? They always say demonic. They always say it's harmful to children. It's harmful to the mind. It's destroying the youth, and the youth are going crazy. The rolling 20s, all the kids are going crazy. They're doing these weird little dances with their hips. They're losing their minds. And then we look back at that and be like, man, y'all was so over dramatic. Even now, oh my God, the girls are twerking all over the place and da da da. And then we look back at it like, man, they were literally just dancing, just literally dancing. That has nothing to do with all this extra stuff that y'all talking about. If y'all want to get that, y'all not even getting deep on those situations. Y'all are just using this as a way to slap a Band-Aid on it and be like, oh, there's the problem. Look at like video games with that mom stuff, with that stupid overprotective mom stuff. Oh man, the Grand Theft Auto, the fully clothed sex scene. Oh my God, the kids are going to freaking become psychopathic, homicidal criminals. And it's like, majority of the people who play Grand Theft Auto have never even seen a gun in real life. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, crime still happens, but the reason crime happens is not because of Grand Theft Auto. It's for real life, actual reasons. Just like promiscuity that y'all want to like sit and point fingers about. It's not the music. The music may, in a way, condone it. Not necessarily, but in a way, what is it? Push it. You know what I'm saying? But not really, because again, it's the responsibility is on the listener and the parents. At the end of the day, ain't nobody here. No. Listen, y'all. Nobody told you to have a kid. Nobody told you to open your legs and take some wang. Nobody told you to put your wang in that lady and ejaculate and then, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the ones are literally participating in the ritual of lovemaking, in the act of lovemaking. In the act of lovemaking, what happens? You make a child, bro. It's that simple. But y'all want to act brand new. Oh my God. Why the kids? Because you stupid. You can't keep your legs closed, and you still a child in your own head. So you can't even raise this child right because you still trying to raise yourself. And that's not an excuse. Because there's plenty of people who the moment they had a kid started growing that second. That the moment they heard they had a kid, everything changed. So again, there's no excuse to be a terrible parent, bro. See, they don't want me to get this message out. They're attacking the throat chakra. I'm not sick, bro. I'm purging. They don't want me to get this message out. Too late. So let me take it all the way back. Because like I said, all that was anti-culture. Anti-culture comes with its own problems because like I said, anti-culture is like full of avoidant energy. Now, counterculture will take, right, the energy of that anti-culture and use it on culture when culture gets out of hand to bring it back down. Like I said, it will destroy culture in order to bring it back down to ground it, to reground it, to ground culture again. Once culture gets too high and mighty, which it happens all the time. It happens all the time, bro. And we bring it back down. Or when culture gets way too commodified. And, you know, that's where you get, like, the cultural appropriation, you know what I'm saying? And the commercialization of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at Woodstock. The first Woodstock was not about money and all this other crazy stuff. And then the second Woodstock was commercial AF. Commercial AF. My dad was talking about $20 burritos. Yeah, commercial AF, bro. You telling me you selling burritos down there for $20, bro? You tweaking, bro. So yeah, when stuff like that happens, counterculture has to come in with its anti-culture energy, right? Because it seems like it's being rebellious. It is being rebellious, but it's not being. What's the word? Where you're just completely opposed. Contrarian. It's not being contrarian like the true form of anti-culture, but it's taking bits and pieces of it, right, to come in and destroy what culture has built once it gets ungrounded, right? Once it gets too high up on its horse, or once it gets too commodified, too commercialized, too plastic, right? Too fake. Too, gimmicky. Once it gets too gimmicky, then counterculture comes in and shuts it all down and breaks it all up. And we love when that happens. We don't get me wrong, we love when culture starts to build, but like I said, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So sometimes you gotta bring in that counterculture to bring balance back, because that's what it's all about. It's all about restoring the balance. At the end of the day. Whew. It's all about restoring the balance. That's all people care about, the balance. All right? So counterculture will come in and do that. And remember, counterculture is the gray area. And vice versa, when anti-culture gets too high up on its little horse, right? Talking way too high and mighty and talking way too down on the culture while contributing nothing to the culture itself, right? Doing nothing but taking, right? That's really where that commodification comes from. That's really where that commercialization comes from. It comes from anti-culture. It comes from grubby little businessmen rubbing their hands together like, time to ride a trend. Time to take this organically built idea and get paid off it, turn it into a trend. See how much money we can make off it and kick it to the curb. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. And counterculture would come in on it with what culture has built, and that's how you get stuff like what Kendrick did with the whole Drake situation. You see what I'm saying? That was culture moving accordingly with culture, with counterculture. I mean, that was counterculture moving accordingly with culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's counterculture is really the equalizer. It's really the balance between the two. That's why gatekeeping is important. Go watch my gatekeeping is important video. I keep telling y'all, dog, gatekeeping is important. It's bringing balance. Everything ain't for everybody. That's exactly how we get commercialized stuff, commodified stuff. Like I said in the video, you see a bunch of corny old freaking white dudes wearing Supreme when that's not what it's about. They not wearing Supreme because they care about hip hop. They're not wearing Supreme because they care about street culture and street fashion. They wearing Supreme because they trying to look cool. They trying to fit in. They trying to have clout. You see what I'm saying? Do you not understand? That's literally watering down. That's how you water down stuff, bro. You Hot Topic now. You hip hop Hot Topic. You see what I'm saying? And I know every real goth, every real emo, you feel me? What's the other one? Every is goth, emo, and every real punk. All my real punk heads out there, bro. You feel me? I can't say the other word, but all my real punk heads, all my real goths, and all my real emos that do that with a purpose, with an intent, right? Because that shit is counterculture. That's exactly what it is. You got dudes wearing black nail polish, putting pale white makeup on. You see what I'm saying? Black nail polish, fishnets, spikes, piercings. That's counterculture. At least it was. And now it's all cutesy and cool now because women like it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When something gets popping and a lot of women take on to it, it gets corny as hell, bro. Y'all gotta watch that. Y'all gotta watch that because, like I said, everything ain't for everybody. If your soul intent ain't in it, don't do it. You're ruining the culture, bro. You're making it Hot Topic, bro. Who shops at Hot Topic, bro? Don't nobody shop at Hot Topic. Don't nobody shop at Spencer's, bro. If you do, you know damn well you probably getting a t-shirt or two and dipping, getting a graphic tee. That's all you get from the graphic tee. You ain't getting fully suited and booted like back in the day. It's dead. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all ruined it. Y'all commodified it. Y'all commercialized it. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody be goth no more because now it's been so commercialized it's corny. Can't nobody be real street no more. You can't even be really street unless you really from the streets. You see how I'm saying streets and not streets? Because it's been so commodified that image has been taken and been plastered all over the place and sold back to us so much I can't even identify with it no more. Not again, that's not me saying, oh, I'm the most street gangster motherfucker ever, bro. No, bro. But bro, I've been out here. I got homies out here, bro. I done kicked it with people, man. Listen, bro, I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not gonna say too much, bro. I'm not gonna say too much, but it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I've dabbled in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born yesterday, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a black man in America, bro. Do the math. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the image has been sold back and thrown in our face so much that it's like I can't even identify with it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even shop at the mall, bro. Like last time I went to the mall, it's like, bro, nothing's resonating with me, bro. None of these clothes is everything is so cookie cutter cosplay. You know, like I know Halloween I know Halloween is once a year, but every time you go shopping somewhere, every time you get some clothes and put an outfit together, you're putting on a costume. Unfortunately, by default, bro. By default. Rule 21. Look at it. Look at the stuff. It's disgusting. Who's designing this stuff? The people designing this stuff are not with the fashion. They not out here like us. They not you and me, bro. And they don't care. They don't care about the culture. They the anti-culture. We are shopping at anti-culture stores talking about what happened to all the realness. Nigga, you think about it. Think about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is my point. Like, bro, you can be too for the culture sometimes, bro. You could be too for the culture sometimes. Because on the opposite end of when the culture gets popping, right? And then they start selling it back to us, right? Now it's like the culture's all effed up. This is what I mean when I say you get too for the too for the culture. That's why I'm like, you got to keep certain things in mind, but I'll get to it. They sell hip hop back to us, right? So that means like everything. The baggy pants you can't do no more. The jerseys you can't do no more. The Kanye glasses. I'm just going through like historically, like all like the little hip hop stuff that used to be a thing that you can't do no more. Look at rap videos. You can't have choreographer dances no more, bro. It's corny, unfortunately. I know it's for the culture. I know that it's hip hop. I know that dancing is hip hop. But when you see it on a video nowadays, you're like, this is corny, bro. I can't do it. When you see a bunch of dudes standing around bopping and doing, it's not real no more. Even if it's real, it's because it's been thrown and sold, and the soul has been stripped because there was no gatekeeping. So because there was no gatekeeping, the soul got removed, man. So even when we go back and we're like, this is real hip hop, we taking it back to the roots, to the roots. Ain't no more roots. We pulled them up, bro. You understand? They pulled the roots up, bro. They tried to kill hip hop, man. That's my point, bro. Like, they try to kill it. It's still here. But all that old man, that shit ain't that don't work no more, bro. Choreographer dancing, that ain't gonna work no more. Them scripted videos ain't gonna work no more. You standing around with a bunch of dudes and y'all just turned up, they ain't gonna work no more, bro. It's not gonna work, man. It might capture a few people because, they still living in that, in their head. But in reality, bro, that shit ain't gonna work, man. It's old. It's played out. It got pimped out. We done pimped out hip hop too much, man. We done let too much happen. And it's like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong. I mean, there is a lot wrong with that, but it's like, that's something that's out of our control. We can't control that. It happens everywhere. This is a part of the cycle. It's a part of the process. What's old, what's new becomes old, and what old becomes new, and yada yada yada. I know y'all heard that saying before. You better go sit down. Go sit down, nigga. But what's old becomes new, and what's new becomes old. It becomes stale, right? Beans, I swear to God. You know what? Fuck this. Hold on. Bro, you think it's playtime for some reason. Nah, nigga. Nope. Move. Move. Where's the light? Oh, it's right here. Light, dude, it's bedtime, bro. You tweaking. You really tweaking, bro. I'm good. I'm like, bro, on God, you tweaking. On God, you tweaking, bro. So yeah, what's old becomes new, and what's new becomes old, right? So where does that leave us, right? Because we trying to take the old and make it new again, but we can't take everything that's new, that's old, and make it new again, because like I said, it's still so fresh with things getting stale and lame. You know what I'm saying? And corny. Like I said, bro, this is just the perception of it right now, though. Like, I'm not saying this stuff is indefinitely corny. I'm not saying Supreme is indefinitely corny, like it's corny forever. No, that's not what I'm saying. Look at Starter, bro. Starter came all the way back, bro. Starter was forgotten, dead ass forgotten. It came all the way back. Champion, completely forgotten, came all the way back, bro. So it's not like this stuff can't happen again. It's not like Supreme and Bape and all these things can't get popping again. But we need time to miss them, bro. We need time to miss it. We need time away from it. We need time to do other stuff now. So that's what I'm saying, to the point that I asked at the start of the video. Can you be so hip hop that is actually detrimental to the culture? And the answer is yes, but it's not indefinite and it's not absolute. What do I mean by that? I mean it's based on the current standings. You have to be culturally, you know the word I'm trying to say. You got to be aware as far as culture goes. You got to be aware. So look at like I said, we're bringing old stuff back. We trying to revamp what's old. Okay, cool. Certain stuff you gonna have to leave though. Certain stuff we gonna have to leave, bro. Certain stuff cannot be revamped. At least not right now. I'm not saying it can never be revamped, but certain stuff, like I said, is too fresh. It still needs time to rest. So like choreographer dancing in the music videos, and you know what I'm saying? Honestly, music videos as a whole is just corny. It is corny, bro. Nobody wants to see you, bro. We're not at that point in rap. We're not at that point in music where people want to sit and watch you. We're done with that. We're done with that. Give us some other type of visuals. Give us something cool. You know what I'm saying? It can still feature you, don't get me wrong. But look at I like what Offset did with that moving on or move on. It's just him inside of the room with the therapist and then the little bird on the chair, and it's just cutting from different scenes of him. The one who beat y'all to the punch on that was Gambino. Whoa, Gambino with because the internet. Now, if y'all remember when that rollout happened, he didn't have a lot of music videos. He had 3005 was already out. That was it. He didn't drop any other videos yet, I don't think. But when he dropped the album, he had the Yaphet Kodo video, the clapping with the lights off, or clapping with the sound off, or something. I forgot what the name was. A little movie short. Someone forgetting too. He also had all the scripts that you should read alongside the listening to the album, and those many clips, I guess you would say, without any sound. It was just like a clip that would just loop, and it should have played along with the song. He like I said, he was ahead of his time, so he didn't really execute it as well as he should have. You know what I'm saying? But it still is exactly what I'm talking about. That's precisely what I'm talking about. That's where we should be at with as far as like artistry goes. Not saying you can't make music videos, but music videos are super just boring, bro. They're just boring. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Listen, bro, I just saw Skrilla, G Herbo, and Lucky in the same video. That's probably the most excited I've been for a video in years, and it wasn't even that excited. I was just like, oh, okay, that's a crazy combination. Let me see what it do. So, like, on a scale of excitement, it's probably like a 3. And that's not shade. That's not a dig. That's just facts. It's just facts. I rocks with Herbo. I rocks with Skrilla. I rocks with Lucky. Did I really care about that video that much? No, bro. It is not their fault. It's not a fault here. So don't get your panties in a bunch. You see what I'm saying? I'm just expressing like straight factual opinions from somebody who actually actively contributes to the culture and has been doing so since a child, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this a long time. Because like I said, it's your inner intent. My intent has always to be in counterculture, bro. I have always been counterculture since a child, bro. I actively don't follow trends, bro. And it's not to be cool and be like, yeah, I don't follow trends. Because there were some trends I hopped on, bro. Very, very sparingly. But there was a few trends I hopped on. But there's also a lot of trends that I set. You feel me? Even on a small scale in my own little town I used to live in. You feel me? I used to do little shit. See, go to school the next day, other people's on it too. I'm like, see, it's that simple. That's called culture, bruh. It's that simple. Even with the lingo, me and my homies will have our own lingo. We start saying our lingo around the females and shit. Now they using it. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. That's what I be telling people. Like, bro, when I say contribute to the culture, bro, it's all your heart and your intent, bro. Like, how do you go about contributing to the culture on a day-to-day basis? Not just hip-hop specifically, but you in your own life. Think about the episode of Fairly Odd Parents, where Timmy prayed for everybody to be the same. Not prayed, but I said prayed, but wished for everybody to be the same. And then what? It was lame. It was super lame. What did he end up doing? He ended up making a pink hat just so he could be identified, so y'all could see who he actually is. That's all it is. It's not that deep. It's not as deep as what everybody be trying to make it out to be, bro. It's like, bro, it's self-expression, not for the sake of self-expression, but because that's what you're supposed to do, bro. You are a self, right? So why be a self that you can go buy off a shelf? Don't be a shelf self. Be a you self. You see what I'm saying? Just be yourself. It's that simple. Can you breathe in your nose and out your mouth? Alright then, bro. You don't have to do anything else. Literally. Anything you do in this world, even if you do nothing, that's your thing. You see what I'm saying? Be like, oh yeah, that's Danny. He don't do nothing. He just sit around and breathe all day. That's his fucking thing, bro. You see what I'm saying? Be like, oh yeah, man, that's Trevor, man. Every Thursday he goes out to Chicago to go visit his people, and they play pickleball. Whatever it is, man. That's your thing, bro. That's your contribution to the culture zeitgeist, bro. To the cultural zeitgeist, that's your contribution. You're the guy who goes to Chicago every Thursday to go play pickleball with his best friends. Boom. It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard to contribute to the culture. Now that you understand that, let's go back to what I was talking about before, right? Over contributing. Because like I said, once things get corny, get stale, get played out, bro, you contributing in that form starts to become detrimental to the culture. Like choreographer dancing, like music videos, like doing corny rollouts, like rappers trying to be streamers, like rappers trying to be content creators. This stuff gets corny. Content creators becoming rappers, but not fully rappers. Y'all are just trying to, you see what I'm saying? And it's not everybody, because like I said, if your front end, if your niche is being a streamer, and you've solidified that, and then you want to go dabble in music, and then dabble in content creation, and dabble in writing, and dabble in this, okay, cool. But y'all don't do that. Y'all come straight out the gate trying to be jack of all trades. Like, yeah, I'm a streamer. You can do that. You can be that, but one at a freaking time. They say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, if you're investing money, if you're investing time, energy, blood, and sweat, put all your eggs in one basket. Please, Lord. Put all your eggs in one basket. All right? Put all your eggs into that main thing And then once you start getting motion, solidify it. Once you solidify it, then go do other stuff. Then go do other stuff, bro. It's that simple. Listen, bro. The Childish Gambino comes straight out the gates, right? Writing movie scripts, making movies. No, bro. He worked his way up as a writer. He was like, I'm gonna put a little bit of attention over here in my production and music and stuff. And then I'm gonna focus over here on this comedy stuff. All right, cool. I became a writer for 30 Rock. I bet, cool. Now, since I already did that and I got that residual check and I done solidified, right? Now I got all this money coming in from the comedy on the front end. Let me go do some stand up on the back end. Cool. Now I got the comedy from 30 Rock and then the comedy from the stand up coming in. All right, bet. Now let me put some focus on this rap. Cool. I got the rap popping. You see what I'm saying? That strategy. That's how you supposed to move. You see what I'm saying? Don't come straight out the gate trying to, because that again, that's watering down the culture. All right, so let's bring it all the way back, right? So how do you move then if you want to add into the culture, right? Because we already covered counterculture. If you're counterculture, I'll come back to that too, because I'm not all the way done with that either. But let's say you don't want to be counterculture, right? You just want to do culture, right? Like I said, go back into the hip hop bag. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go back to the early 2000s, go back to the 90s, go back to the 80s, go back to the birth, right? And pick the things that you, as an individual artist, can be like, you know what? I could see me doing something with that. I could see me like scratching. Is anybody gonna complain if niggas start scratching again? Hell no, bro. What? Man, I would go crazy if you started scratching again. Stop playing, bro. That's real hip hop right there. That's the stuff that never gets old. You see what I'm saying? Like, that will never get old. That will never die. That's always gonna sound beautiful. I don't care what you're doing. Start scratching. That is gonna go crazy. But like this choreographer dancing and all this other corny stuff that we are overdoing, it's gotta go. It's gotta go, man. Honestly, I think it's time for more exclusivity, bro. It's time to bring back the smaller popping acts that not everybody is included on, and exclusive music, or like music that only exists in a physical form, that doesn't exist on streaming sites. And you got to be tapped in and you got to be plugged. Like, give the people something to do. Give them something to wake up and be excited about. Ain't nobody waking up and being excited about Spotify, nigga. Ain't nobody waking up and being excited that you just dropped on Spotify, bro. You ain't giving us nothing. Okay, that's cool. You giving us music, but what's the experience? Oh, unlock your phone, click the app, and press play. Hell of an experience, right? Like, no, bro. Even if that's what you're gonna do, look at Kendrick, bro. He even told you at the end of Damn, if you listen to Damn in reverse, it's telling you a totally different story than when you was listening to it in the front, like from start to finish. If you listen to it from Duckworth all the way up to, what's the first song, like Feel or something like that? No, it's not Feel. What is it? I forget, whatever the name of the first song is. But if you listen to it from Duckworth all the way to the first song, it's going to be a totally different story, totally different progression, and a totally different narrative. Now, that is an experience, bro. That's an experience. Even though it's just the press play, now you're listening to it in reverse. Now you have to listen to it in a different mindset. You can't listen to it like, oh, okay, you got to listen to it in reverse. And be like, okay, now you gotta piece the story together again as you're listening to it. That's you pretty much got 2 albums with 1 album. Even though it's the same songs, but it's a different experience. You see what I'm saying? We gotta think outside the box with this. We gotta, this is how you point, and that brings it back to my point where people are like, oh, we were just regurgitating the same stuff. How many people is doing that? Y'all want to talk about people that are just doing the same shit over and over? How many people is doing an album that you could listen to forward and backward? Now you can take that as a basis and go, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. I'm just kicking y'all real game right now, bro. Because like I said, I am a honorary counterculture god, bro. I've been doing this, so I am a master at this, bro. I am a master at counterculture, bro. I'm so good at this. I could be so far ahead of the curve with certain stuff, bro. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm a prophet with this, bro. You see what I'm saying? I'm a prophet with this, bro. Cause I really be tapped in with the music, bro. On some spiritual, my intuition. I'm intuitive with my music now, because I've been doing this for so long. You know what I'm saying? And this is the first generation where I haven't been able to find really, really good prolific artists before they pop. There is so many artists, bro. Bro, so many artists I found before they pop, bro. It's crazy, bro. I'm trying to think of something right now. I mean, they weren't buzzing at all, bro. At all, bro. Bro, I like rappers you wouldn't even know, bro. Rappers you wouldn't even know, bro. I'm trying to think. How did I find Hobson? I don't think Hobson was one of them, because he's been on it since '03. If y'all remember D Pride, I was on him way before he popped. Chris Webby, bro. I want to say Mac Miller. I wasn't on him back in his Easy Mac days, but like before kids really got buzzing. You feel me? I was listening to kids way before. Bro, that's racist. I was listening to, oh my God, I was listening to That's Racist way before they got signed, bro. Dang, bro. I wasn't listening to Tech Nine heavy, but I was well aware of Tech Nine way before he took off too. I didn't really start fucking with him heavy until the Bad Season mixtape, but that's another mixtape that y'all don't be tapped in on. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. But there was another one who's on the tip of my tongue. I think I already said Chris Webby, Watsky. I know there's a lot of white rappers, but I'm trying to think of some black ones, but they're all slipping me right now. Cause again, like, bro, oh my God, the Cool Kids. I was on the Cool Kids before the Cool Kids was cool. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. I'm trying to put y'all on, bro. Like, bro, I've been doing this for a while. My point is, I've been doing this for a while. So if there's anybody who has any type of sense in what he's talking about when it comes to cultivating culture, it's definitely me. And that's not me tooting my own horn. That's just me giving you my credentials. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you my credentials. Straight up. I'm built for this. Literally. Self-made for this culture stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, just to reiterate, when it comes to, if you don't want to hop on a counterculture, if you want to stay away from the anti-culture stuff, you don't know what you're doing with that, you want to stick with the culture stuff, okay, fine, that's cool. But when you do it, realize certain stuff is not going to work. You got to get real particular. It's right now. This message is only accurate for right now as it stands. I don't know how long into the future. But as far as 2025, September 2nd, 2025, the best way for you to remain in the culture side of the spectrum, not the anti-culture, not the counterculture, is to get real particular. You're going to have to niche down, right? You're going to have to really get into the nuances of the culture and then take it and run with it. Whatever it is that resonates with you, that you're like, I could do something with this. I could do something with that. Like I said, for example, the scratching. You know that could resonate with people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should try, like, if you're a producer, instead of using sample packs, make your own samples, bro. Instead of using VSTs, make your own sounds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting your influence from other producers, right? Other hip-hop producers, turn off the hip-hop completely. Man, don't even listen to music. Go on the music fast and then start making music. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some gems, bro. Because like I said, bro, the proof is in the pudding. I'm telling you right now how you could cultivate more culture, but you gotta do it right. You gotta do it right. Otherwise, you just gonna come off as hot topic hip hop hot topic. But like this boy think he hip hop, but you just copy paste, bro. You just copy paste, bro. You copying the past and pasting it into the present. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Now, if you take it and you shake it up and you revamp it and you sauce it up and you drip it up, because like I said, it's in you, not on you. That brings me to that point. It's in you, not on you. Remember that. It's in you, not on you. It's not what you do in front of the camera. It's not the choreography dancing. It's not, oh man, I got an angle like this, an angle like that. And no, bro, it ain't none of that. It's in you. All right. Now, let's get on the counterculture. Now, if you want to do counterculture, because that's what I would prefer. I prefer counterculture. Just because, I don't know, something about it just feels more natural, feels more at home to me to be counterculture constantly. I'm always trying to be counterculture. I don't want to be a part of nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. If you're gonna be counterculture, like the example I gave with the producers, right? To come up with their own stuff, cut it all out. Don't get influenced by anything hip hop. Don't be influenced by nothing hip hop and nothing that's anti hip hop. Right? You want to be real counterculture? Develop your own. At this point, start developing your own, bro. You seeing a bunch of people wearing their hair a certain way, wear your hair a different way. You start seeing people going to big brands and big names and stuff like that, go find some smaller brands, some smaller names. You see people wearing mad street clothes, switch it up. Don't wear no type of street clothes. Don't wear no hoodies. Don't wear no jeans. Don't wear no baggy jeans. Don't wear no Jenko jeans. You feel me? Don't wear none of that. Don't wear none of that. Don't wear no Timberlands. Don't wear no goddamn Jordans. Don't wear no Balenci's. Don't wear nothing Gucci. No, none of that, bro. None of that. None of that. It's time. Go find a new. I don't care if it's cheap. I don't care if it costs like 10, 20 bucks. You feel me? Go find you a new angle, a new style, a new way of self-expression, but that's still contributing to the culture, but is not what they're doing. And again, it's not to knock what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I'm going to guide them into the right direction. So you ain't got to worry about that. But as far as you go, the person that is aware of the current trend and realizing that, hey, this is not working. Hip hop is dying. We got to do something, right? Do nothing. Do nothing. Do you, but don't do what they're doing, and don't be anti-culture. Don't, like I said, don't be so counterculture that you become anti-culture. So when I'm saying like get new drip, get new swag, get new lingo, I'm talking you as a person, sit down and come up with it yourself. And I ain't saying you got to sit down and brainstorm, but let it just come to you naturally. You know what I'm saying? Counterculture is something that's natural. You don't really have to force it. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's not really too much to say about counterculture, because you just look around, you see what they're doing, and you start, right? The start would be do the opposite. It just go from there. You know, that's the easiest way, bro. Just look at what everybody else is doing, do the opposite. Do take the road less traveled, and you will find what you're looking for. I promise you. But that's all I got for you on this, man. I just really needed to speak on that because it's been rattling in my mind. Like, can you be so for your culture that you actually end up hurting it in the long run? And the answer is yes. Because too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Just like too much of a bad thing is a bad thing. You see what I'm saying? Too much of anything is just bad. But hey, man, keep doing you. Keep being real. Just come real with it, man. Just come real with it, dog.